All right, let's talk media, taxes, tariffs, sports investing, and much more. We've got billionaire and value investor Mario Gabelli with us. He is the chairman and CEO of GAMCO Investors. And Mario, it's great to see you here this morning.
Well, it's indeed a privilege and fun to talk about our favorite subject, which is stocks, and the world of which volatility is part of the daily breakfast, lunch, and dinner for us.
There has not been a lot of volatility lately. It's been kind of an upward march.
I'm looking at specific stocks, the amount of transactions. For example, Flowserve had a deal to buy Chart, and it's being taken over for $210 in cash. And the shorts were in Flowserve because they were arbing it. And the Flowserve stock at 58.50 is down from 65, and it's a bargain. Scott Rowe's going to do a great job. And then you got a deal like Iveco in Italy that postponed their meeting till this week on Thursday, and speculation is they'll sell their defense business. And the stock is 18 euros, and we think it's worth 29. And if they do that, there's what will they do with the balance of the business? So there's a lot going on all the time.
I know it's probably not in your wheelhouse at the moment in terms of things you've been considering, but Union Pacific announcing this deal with Norfolk Southern, I mean, that's going to be one that does test the regulatory, I guess, how willing they are to allow bigger transactions to happen. What do you think happens there?
Well, that is a great start because the notion of the tax structure in place so that now you can figure out what you can expense on R&D, what your depreciation bonuses are, what your other things are, that gives you a little more clarity. Secondly, the notion of some of these transactions getting approved quickly. Now, you have a new head of the Federal Communications Commission. Carr is saying, hey, we don't want the broadcasters to go the way of the newspapers. And he's going to be a lot quicker on making decisions. You're going to have Ferguson at the head of the Federal Trade Commission. The other one turned down a shoe company, and it caused it to have a disaster, Capri. Then, among others, like iRobot was 55, and it's now 5. Sports Warehouse was 15, it's now 3. So those individuals have moved on. And now you have that, and the changes also in the EU in terms of M&A. So I would think, I'm not going to say it's greater confidence, but when you look at the map, where is Burlington Northern, which is not on the East Coast? Where is Union Pacific? It's not on the East Coast. So what are the negatives to the shippers? And that's one issue. Clearly, you want to look at it, but it should not take 2 years.
Right. So you think there's going to be more deals? There already are more deals.
Yeah.
Those are percolating.
Not only that, you're going to have the private equity guys are stuck with, holdings, and they're laying them off to related parties and continuation funds. And now they would like to go more into the public domain or figure out another way to swap them. So you're going to see a lot more. And yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. And then, we're going to see it in some other parts of the world as well.
Well, let's talk about media, because that's where you've always been a big investor. Paramount shares, voting shares of Paramount you owned, that deal getting approved. What do you think of it, and what do you think happens next with some of these other media?
Well, I thought somebody would ask me about Paramount. So I brought this, Andrew, for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's important now?
Whip inflation now?
No, yeah, but that's an old. What's important now is our.
What's important? Okay.
That's my version. Whip inflation now was back in the 1970s. That was obviously important.
My mother told me about that period. Go ahead.
Yeah. You bought one of those expensive putters recently. Come on, that a private equity fund I just bought. Independent of that, what is important now? Netflix has got streaming. The world has changed. It's got a market cap greater than Comcast, greater than Disney, greater than Warner Brothers, greater than Paramount, greater than 3 or 4 of the other ones like Lion Studios, like AMC, combined. So how do we compete and survive in that? What is important now is to help Hollywood. We have to bring American creativity back. We have to bring the content and capability back. And that's what is going to happen with a combination of Redbird and Skydance. They will own 70% of a billion-share company. They'll have $10 billion of debt. Hopefully they can peel off some of the TV stations. So there's a lot to be done.
Do you think that that company will ultimately buy and or merge with Warner Brothers, which just announced yesterday that it's going to be, it gave the new names, Warner Brothers and Discovery, but that would be something that you consider to be potentially an opportunity for them.
Look, think of Zaslav. He's going to take over what was I call sports and streaming. He's put a new name on it last night. Okay?
Discovery.
Discovery Global.
I know he's got not Discovery. He's put it on Warner Brothers. And so, yes, the Zaslav Variety came out and listed how many Emmys they got. 142. They got the highest number of anyone. So the notion of, and he's got Superman doing $500 million at the box office, domestic and global. And so content creativity, but then how to monetize it. And that's where he's going to be very strong. Now, will he try to buy that company? Let's look at Warner Brothers. They've got 2.5 billion shares. The stock is $32 billion market cap. They got 28. You got $60 billion. Compare that to Netflix with $400 billion. Or maybe a little higher than that, $500 billion. How does he create value, and what is he going to do? Comcast is spinning off Versant, okay? And others are doing the same. Versant, sorry.
It's not
But so
French.
here's-
I got that French
No,
version.
Mary,
I can't get rid of the French version.
The reason I'm asking the question about Warner Brothers is right now there's a question. You're going to have the Paramount deal that's going to close, right? So that's about to happen. The question is right now, if you believe that the other ones that are up for grabs would be Warner Brothers, that would be one. You would think that Peacock, which would be, and NBC, which is part of this company. I don't know if you think that regulators would actually allow this company to do anything during this administration. That's an open question. Therefore, then you start to think to yourself, okay, there's sort of only 2 or 3 other options if you are David Ellison or you're David Zaslav.
The answer is go to Hollywood and start going back to basics. Give the consumer what they want, when they want it, at the lowest possible cost, and
Well, I'm asking as an investor.
So neither a buyer
forget the
nor a
investor
seller
for a
B, is
moment.
that
That's
you're
what you do. That's the business.
yeah, but I have owned Paramount since some of the Reds, since Gulf and Western owned it. So I've been in it for 50 years. Just think about the next 20 years. Think about content. How do you create?
By the way, has that been a mistake for you?
I think you should have sold it.
Yeah, has that been a mistake for you?
Right
No,
there.
don't forget there was a time when the guy in '02 shorted the stock and it ran to $90, and we were able to liquefy some and buy some back. We've been a long-term. We own 5 million of the 30 million shares of the voting stock, of the 10 million that are outstanding. We're going to have 0. We're not going to own any. He's cashing us out. It's the terms of trade that we object to.
No, I know. The reason I asked that is Joe was, I think, alluding to. You would have been happier selling those shares 5 years ago?
I did.
You're saying
I bought them back.
5 years ago?
Okay.
Well, no.
didn't
After
say
the
that.
guy, look, Tootsie Roll went from 30 to 60. Paramount went from like 30 to 80, back to 23. Today, I bought some today because I got until Thursday to make an election. You got to look at financial engineering. You got to say, hey, I have to elect. And everyone looking at this program has to make the election by Thursday of whether they own Paramount and whether they want to own the non-voting stock, and how do they get the cash and elect to get the cash. And then they'll work on it again.